Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another CRN broadcast. I am your broadcaster here tonight. That's going to be Dylan McDonald with CRN. We are back with the Core Racing League Premier Series as they go dirt track racing here tonight at the world famous Knoxville in the dirt street stocks. Definitely going to be a fun one here tonight. Going to do a little bit of an alphabet soup here on CRN. Night full of racing as these guys have done their road, they've done their oval, and they've done, excuse me, they've done a few oval and one road so far. Now it's set up for a dirt oval, and now this is where we're going to see one lane track. Hopefully somebody can get the outside used up. Otherwise, everybody's going to be fighting for that inside line. Me personally, I am always going to be a bottom feeder, especially at Knoxville, right up next to that berm on the inside and seeing right where it's going to be. As tonight we do have, I believe it is. Let me go ahead and look here at the schedule of events here. Okay, so for tonight, it is 4 6-lap heats, a 10-lap C main, a 15-lap A main. So definitely going to see exactly what these guys can do here. Max fuel, just because these cars you can't take fuel when going into pit lane. Want to give a big shout out to Barry, already out there in the chat, wishing these drivers good luck. It's going to be a really, really good show. Looking at the track here, it is a 0.51 mile track. Temperature of the track is going to be 67 degrees. Air temp is going to be a beautiful, cool 76 degrees, but that wind mile an hour is up there. 14 mile an hour winds, and it's definitely going to be something different for all these guys to watch. Looking at it now, it is Christopher Hamilton with the fastest time on track here tonight with a 22.691. Practice almost done. Look at about 1 more minute left into practice. Then we're going to jump straight into the heat races. And it's definitely going to be something fun here tonight. I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of a preview of that number 77 Team Butler Core Premier Series Dirt Street Stock out there running a couple of laps. We're getting that high side though. Let's get all the way up by that wall, super close. But looking at it right now, we're going to go ahead and look at the number 100 of Lyle Mitchell and that NOS energy drink, number 100. Kevin Foster and the number 8 Team Handwork right in the berm, getting that rear end all over that top side wall. But nonetheless, still going to be a great show here tonight, put on by all these fantastic drivers. I'll go ahead and see if I can load up the track map for you guys here in this practice. Looking like we have 2 people out there on track as of right now. And I think they might be split up into different sections, it could say, because I mean, you see there we have 18 people registered that have taken a time here tonight, but we only get to see about 5 people as of right now. I want to thank everybody out there on CRN that makes this all possible. Thank you for the likes, shares, subscribes, the comments. We see them all, we read them all. We can't thank anybody more than enough. Heat number 1, though, is going to consist of Caleb Collins. It's going to be Caleb Collins, Lyle Mitchell, Paul Butler, Brandon Metler, and David Tilford. As looking right now, looks like Paul Butler is down there on the starting grid. Going to go ahead and look at these beautiful paint schemes as we get ready to do the first heat race. Caleb Collins not in there just yet. Going to go ahead and jump over to Lyle Mitchell and that number 100 machine, NOS energy drink. Caleb Collins repping the Lightning McQueen Rusty's Piston Cup number 72. Paul Butler in the number 77 Team Butler number 77. Brandon Mettler in the number 15 Boilermakers Indiana. David Tilford in the number 12 Thrustmaster Dirt Street Stock all the way from Illinois. 6 lap heats, 5 guys. Who do you guys got for the race or the heat winner here tonight? Go ahead and leave a comment, and hopefully we can see these guys turn up all the way through these corners. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys a beautiful look at Barney the Flagman as they're getting ready to come up off turn number 3 and 4. Give you a nice little shot of Barney sit up there. He's being nice and patient, letting this pace car take them around and around. Look at the zoom.
Hey, Dylan.
Yes,
you
sir.
got a copy?
Yep.
Hey, I just want to give you a heads up, and everybody out there, just so you know what we're doing. The top 8 in points, technically top 9 in points, since Ricky Gonzalez is not in here, they will get an EOL to start their heats, just to kind of keep it even like we've been doing, keep the top guys in points towards the back. So that's why you see Brandon Mettler is actually going to be starting 5th, and David Tilford starting 4th in this one, and it'll carry over for the other 3 heats as well.
Oh, okay. Ooh, boy, you scared that.
All right, enjoy the racing, boys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, that was our league admin, Mr. Carl Handenberg, jumping up in here to let everybody know how tonight's going to go. Barney's got the green flag in his hand. Can't go till he throws it. There they go, going down into turn number 1 and 2. Caleb Collins has the early advantage on that inside, running the berm. About to be 3 wide. Lyle on the outside. Butler in the middle. Tags Lyle. Tags Brandon Mettler. Butler down to the inside wall and flips over the barrier. I'm going to go ahead and go back to a quick little replay here. See exactly what happened. Butler moving up just a little bit. Paul. Oh, Butler and Mettler get together. Paul. Oh, through in between the fence and into the good old Jersey barriers. But so far it is Caleb Collins out front to an early, not even a second lead. But back here it is the number 100 and the number 12 side by side going into turn number 1 and 2. Able to get up there, going to slow it up along the wall. David Tilford's going to get around him as Brandon Mettler is just watching in the distance as he's got a little bit of damage on that number 15 machine. But as it sits right now, 3 laps down, 3 to go. And it's been all Caleb Collins so far for this first heat, as these guys back here in the back are doing a little bit of battling amongst themselves. Lyle down to the inside now, trying to get a good run on the number 12 of David Tilford. David's going to use that berm to his advantage. Hike it up on the 3 wheels. You can see it there as Lyle trying to do what he possibly can to get back around the number 12 machine. Not able to do so. He's going to slide a little bit high. Chop it back down. And if there's anything that I know about these cars, and especially at this dirt track, you always want to keep it down on that inside. You never want to give the person in front of you the advantage of running a little bit high. Now we got a little bit of lap traffic as Paul Butler's going to swing it out high for the number 72 of Caleb Collins. Caleb's going to ride that berm just a little bit. They're going to be side by side coming off turn number 1 and 2. Caleb not able to get around him, but Lyle and David Tilford get together down the backstretch. Here comes Brandon Mettler, though, to the inside of the number 12. Got to hit the brakes to not hit David Tilford. And this is going to be a crazy battle for P2. Oh, Lyle Mitchell stuck into the wall, as that would be the end of the race. And it looks like Caleb Collins is going to pick up the final checkered flag. Lyle Mitchell's going to finish P number 2. Second or third is going to be David Tilford. Fourth is going to be Brandon Mettler. And rounding out your 5th and final spot is going to be that number 77 of Paul Butler. While we get a second, we'll go ahead and bring in our first heat winner. That's going to be the number 72 of Caleb Collins. Caleb, this is Dylan in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, I got you, Dylan. How's it going?
You know, it's doing all right up here. You know, it's kind of ran away with the victory there in your heat race. So I figured, why not just bring this guy in? He can help me call the action for these last couple heat races.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're probably going to be pretty interesting ones too. I'm glad I'll get to watch it from the spectator cam. That sounds like more fun.
Yeah, looking at it now, Carl Hedberg actually came in and said the highest finisher has to start from the rear and work their way up to the front. So Mark Parkhurst, he's going to start from the rear, and P number 5, Dane Simpson's going to be first. Shotgun is going to be the 05 of Tim Thompson. Love that paint scheme, by the way. Third is going to be the number 10 of Matt Crockett, Liquid Death Mountain Water. Abhi Vishwasam and the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Oh, I love that paint scheme. If there's a paint scheme out there that I loved, it would have to be that one. Just nothing.
We got some good ones on the street stocks tonight, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, Mark Parkhurst in the number 23, Real Tree Bass Pro Shops, Dirt Street stock. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a blast. Barney's got the green flag up in the air. Going to possibly take these guys around at turn number 3 and 4 as Pace Truck goes down into the pit lane. They can't go till Barney throws the green flag. And there it is. Green, green, green. Down to the turn number 1. Dane Simpson still has the lead. And it looks like where you want to be is down on the inside.
Yeah, that was definitely my experience from practice. I jumped in when the track was already pretty worn out, so I started trying to run the cushion, and even slicked off as it was, bottom seemed to be faster from my experience. But we'll see what it gets going. I think whenever we get to the feature, it's going to reset, so it could be a whole different animal, but that's kind of where it is right now.
Yeah, it seems like Mark Parker's trying to get that outside to roll, not able to do so. He's going to end up hitting the wall pretty much every lap going into that corner, but not afraid to take it down to the inside. He knows where he wants to put that car, and that's on the outside. He's making it kind of work here as Dane Simpson has ran the fastest lap of the session with a 23.858.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of running that, ran a little bit more of that traditional line, looking for the cushion there in 1 and 2. Now back down to the bottom. If the cushion does come in, the nice thing about these street stocks, if this is a really wide track here in Knoxville, which makes it pretty fun, there's plenty of room for passing. If the cushion does get all the way up into the wall like it is in 1 and 3 right now, with these street stocks, man, you can just put that right rear. You can just kind of ride, not really ride the wall. You don't, that'll be a penalty, but you can kind of just tap the wall with that right rear, and man, you can, if it works in, you can be flying up on that high side.
Yeah, looking at it now, Mark Parkhurst actually got away from the wall, went down towards the middle, got around Abhi Vishwasam. Now starting to work on the number 10 of Matt Crockett. Going to dive into the inside. Matt and Mark going to make a little bit of contact. Able to keep it clean and green. As Mark's going to start working on the inside of Abhi Vishwasam again this time by. And it's going to be a battle for 4th and 5th. Him and Abhi get together. Going to be a little bit of neck code. Still beating and banging down the backstretch. One thing I can't say, though, I have not seen the epic slide job. They might be saving that for the actual feature here later tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about that. There were some guys practicing the slide job there in the hot laps, so it wouldn't surprise me if you saw it. Yeah. I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping it doesn't happen to me. Naturally, I'm hoping I'm up here in the booth when we get to see it.
All right, Caleb. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get back down there with everybody, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of the feature.
All right, thanks, Dylan. We'll put on a show.
Yes, sir. All right, that was the number 72 of Caleb Collins. Going to go ahead and move back with the number 96 of Dane Simpson, as he was the last winner. Going to bring him on up into the broadcast booth here and celebrate his little bit of a heat win there. And Dane, this is Dylan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, kind of walk. How's the track feeling as of right now? Is it something that you're going to have to get a little bit more used to, or is the track completely perfect to your standards?
I kind of like the track like this. It's pretty burnt out through most of the track, so having a smooth throttle foot through the corner and kind of getting down onto the part that's not burnt out on the straight stretch as early as possible is it was kind of key for me. But it's all kind of dependent. There's a high line there still that people are able to run. I think it all just kind of depends on people's preference, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like running the inside as close to the berm as I possibly can, even when the track slicks off, and still ends up working in my favor. As
Yeah,
you know,
I'm more bottom feeding, so
yeah. I mean, even when it's super slick and there's really no grip, I'm still going to be down there. Getting ready to go green though. It looks like John Obinger, he's going to get the jump on Ryan Honeycutt. As they're going to be battling here. Ryan Honeycutt's going to do a little bit of a crossover down on the inside. Not able to make the pass on the number 44. And, it just something about, dirt track racing, especially in the dirt street stocks. It's containable, but it can get really hairy really fast. As we're looking here, it is not Dane. It is Ryan Honeycutt battling with the 44. Going to touch and spin. These two going to come to almost a complete stop. That's going to give Paul Owens the race lead here. This has got John Crane all over his back bumper, still running the high side. And Paul Owens running his fastest lap of the 23.863. You got two styles of driving here. You got Paul Owens running the middle of the lane. You got John Crane running all the way out on the outside. Paul starts moving up just a little bit, not able to get John Crane up there with him. And slowly but surely, it is that number 11 closing in on the back bumper of that number 54. As these guys have 2 more laps left. And Crane with a beautiful run coming out of turn number 3 and 4. Going to be a little bit closer to that back bumper of the number 54. Not able to make anything work. John Crane with a 23.633 that time by. As on this heat race, there's only 4 guys instead of 5. And I think these two right here are going to put on one hell of a show coming to the final lap. If John Crane can hit his marks. One more time around for the number 54. Gets through turn 3 and 4, or 1 and 2. All he's got to do is get down the backstretch, get through 3 and 4, and he'll be another heat winner. Coming through 3 and 4 on to the front stretch, and Paul Owens, he's going to pick up the race heat win as he's going to slide that thing into victory lane. So, Dane, I got to ask, are you going to stay on the bottom the whole feature?
oh, I can't imagine I'm going to stay down there the whole time. I think I'll kind of be all over the place a little bit, feeling out the track. There's an awesome high line there. There's a berm that you can really ride up there. So it'll all kind of depend on the lap to lap and what everybody else is doing.
Gotcha. All right, sir. We're going to go ahead and let you get back up there, get ready for the feature. And again, congrats on the heat win.
Thanks much. We'll talk.
Whoops. As we're going to go ahead and bring in the number 54 of Paul Spelling Bee Owens. Paul, this is Dylan of the broadcast booth. Get a copy.
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right. We know you're getting a cup of chocolate milk for winning your first heat. Kind of give us a little bit of a rundown on where the grip was on this track.
I didn't really find any. I was just trying to hold position and get to the end there, but I have a feeling of where it is, but I'm going to keep that one to myself until after the race is over.
Yeah, definitely got to do something just to get a little bit of grip no matter where you can find it. And it kind of worked out in your favor. You You ended up getting the heat win, but John Crane, he was putting pressure on you coming to about 2 to 3 laps to go.
Yeah, he was quick, so I was trying to find lines, and I saw he was coming, so I decided to just run the bottom a little more and see if I could create a gap in any way.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to do whatever you possibly can. And what's your strategy for the feature?
Just do anything you can to finish.
Yeah, well,
Just want to finish.
we're gonna get ready to go green here, and figured I'd let everybody that won a heat race come in and help broadcast this, as Barney's got the green flag. Carl and Kevin dead even going into turn number 1. Carl and it looks like Chris Hamilton running the outside, Kevin and Jimmy on the inside, and they're still neck and neck going down the backstretch.
Yeah, Chris was the fastest in practice here, so expect him to make some moves early and see what he can get.
3 wide for the lead, as Kevin Foster was able to get around Carl Hedwerk now, as Jimmy and Carl Hedwerk, 2 CRN broadcasters, are side by side with Chris Hamilton in the rear. A little bit of a crossover move, 3 wide again for second, as Chris Hamilton's on the outside. I know Chris is having a little bit of deja vu being at Knoxville, but thankfully for him, the number 38 is not out there on track.
Nope, not yet. And as they're going in turn 1 again, they're 3 wide. Chris is in the fence here. He's gonna get a run here, and he should be able to get alongside Jimmy. Oh, 3 wide again. Fenced him.
Almost got into the fence, but if you notice on the dirt street stock, though, those tires stick out a little bit more than normal. So that's going to kind of help to bounce you off and not take substantial amount of damage. But it does hinder your performance later in the run, as Jimmy Covert's all over the back bumper, the number 18 of Carl Handwerk. He's looking to get around him and start chasing down the number 8 of Kevin Foster.
Yeah, top 2 make it here, so you gotta get elbows out here as they come to take 2 to go, and find all the speed you can and try and drive away.
Yeah, so far Kevin Foster not able to drive away like the previous heats, as Carl Handwerk's right on the back bumper of the number 8 machine. Both repping the Team Handwerk Driver Cup cars. Jimmy Covert driving that number 14. It looks like Miss Boohoo paint scheme there, as they're coming to take the white flag. Carl running a little bit higher than Kevin into the corner, but not able to capitalize on it. Do we see a slide job or a dive bomb? No.
He's going to try and cross over here, I think.
Looking to do a little bit of a crossover, not going to be able to get there. And Kevin Foster, he's going to be able to pick up the third or heat win number 4, as now Carl does a slide job on the number 8 of Kevin Foster.
Yeah, that was a good race there. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate
yes, sir.
it.
Gonna go ahead and bring in. Okay. So this is gonna be our final. This is gonna be the C main here. 10 laps for these guys, and definitely going to be something fun to watch. Going to go ahead and bring in Kevin Hollywood Foster. And, this guy has told me he's my nemesis in one of these series in Core Racing League. That's going to be the number 8 of Kevin Foster. This is Dylan in the booth. Got a copy.
10-4.
All right. Well, you say I'm your nemesis in the Vintage Series. Always a good battle with you and myself out there on the track, no matter where we're going. But kind of walk us through on how the race turned out for you. Like, did you feel the pressure from Carl Handwerk all heat race long?
Yes, luckily Carl was in my ear telling me exactly what to do there. Yeah, I'm not a big dirt fan, and just try to wrap the bottom. It's the only thing I know how to do. And whew, man, I was nervous for those 6 laps.
Yeah, I mean, he was all over the back bumper of you, and he had Jimmy all over his back bumper. So it was either keep your ground or move over and let him by. And I know if I know you, you're not going to just do that out of free will.
No, I'm not gonna just move over, but man, it's this track is definitely slicking off, and the lap times are coming down, so that's a good thing. And man, I'm excited just to get the win and make it to the main.
Yeah, I mean, you got the win. You don't have to worry about the C main. I believe they got a B main after the C main, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's going to be. I'm just usually when it comes to these dirt things, I'm always in the B, C, D, E, F main, whatever it is, just scrapping to get in. But just thankful to get in tonight. So I'm really excited, and thank you for all my fans out there, and thank you for broadcasting this. And we're gonna go put on the show tonight.
All right, Kevin, we're going to go ahead and let you get back up there, and we'll be hopefully talking to you at the end of the feature.
Absolutely, brother. That'd be a amazing feat. You get to talk to me at the end of this one.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, that's going to be the number 8 of Kevin Foster, but out front it is the number 23 of Mark Parkhurst, the 44 and 64, doing a little bit of trading paint, as one would call it. No slide jobs needed just yet. Chris Hamilton working the inside of John Nobinger, not able to get around him, as it looks like John Nobinger got a little bit tight center corner, and it's still going to be side by side going into turn number 1, as Paul Butler back there running P number 4. Just watching these two battle. Not going to take any abrasive measures, as he's just riding behind these two, waiting for an open opportunity to make a 2-for-1, as he's going to sling it super wide, going to tap the wall, bring it back down, but it is all Mark Parkhurst up there in the front. John Nobinger down on the inside of Chris Hamilton now, not able to make the pass work, as Chris Hamilton was able to get around Mr. John Nobinger. And now John Nobinger fighting back on the inside, going to take it up onto the berm, as so is Chris Hamilton. He's got to back it down just a little bit, but here comes Paul Butler to the inside. Going to move the number 44 out of the way, going to beat and bang all the way down the front stretch. Paul Butler knows what he has to do, wants to make the big show. Here comes John Nobinger. Slide job from him. Gets a little bit bangy back here, as Paul Butler slides back to Pete number 4. Going to send it on the outside. Do we see a little bit of a crossover move? He's going to drop it down low, but not able to have the run that PB wants to have, as he's still content on that outside. Nobody able to pull away. Going to go ahead and back up here to the lead, as Mark Parkhurst has built a 0.23 second lead over second place of Christopher Hamilton, but still keeping him honest. Last time Chris Hamilton was at this track, he got flipped over by me. It's not definitely not something that you want to have happen, but it did. It was not my finest moment, but always gotta sit there and do exactly what I need to do. As Chris Hamilton, final lap going down the backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. What does Chris do? Does he give him the bumper? Does he just play it safe in second? Sometimes second's better than the lead, but here comes Chris Hamilton. Mark Parkhurst got a little bit loose. Chris Hamilton is not going to have the run, and Mark Parkhurst is going to come away with the C main win. Looking at the B main, it is David Tilford, Matt Crockett, Ryan Honeycutt, Jimmy Cover, Brandon Mettler, Mark Parkhurst, and Chris Hamilton. Who's going to get in and who may be going home? Looking at it right now, David Tilford are going to lead these guys to the green flag with Matt Crockett, the Rocket, in P number 2. Ryan Honeycutt in that number 051. He's going to be P number 3 with Mark Parkhurst on his outside. 051. Excuse me. Brandon Mettler is going to be P number 5 in that Indiana Boilermakers. Number 15. 6th is going to be Christopher Hamilton, and 7th is going to be the number 14 of Jimmy Covert. But it looks like Jimmy Covert is not out there on track. Not sure what happened to Jimmy Covert. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the track map if I can for you guys here. And there it is. Now you guys can see all of the racing that we can see. Going through number turn 3 and 4, you heard it there. They are starting to slick off. Pace truck's going to dive it on in. Go ahead and go up to Barney the flagman. David Tilford's got the green flag down into turn number 1 and 2. Look like David missed a little bit of a shift. Going to get a little bit of a shot from Ryan. But look at Mark Parkhurst and Matt Crockett. Oh, Matt Crockett gets spun. And that's going to collect a lot of people, but we stay green as Mark Parkhurst and Chris Hamilton were able to make it through. We're going to go ahead and go back to a quick little replay here and just show a chase camera here. And Matt Crockett, Brandon Mettler, Ryan Honeycutt, and David Tilford all involved in that one. Able to get it spun back around and going for broke as Mark Parkhurst from the back to the front, leading this thing 15 laps for the B main, as this is going to be a great photo finish if Chris Hamilton can get there. He's got 5 extra more laps than he did last race, and now he's right all over the back bumper of our race leader. That's going to be Mark Parkhurst, Chris Hamilton. Ryan Honeycutt, though, making his way back up to P number 3. Got a little bit of a gap between 2nd and 3rd, as these guys are still doing a little bit of battling. Again, guys, don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe to CRN. Hit the little bell notifications. Turn on all notifications so you guys don't miss a single beat that happens on CRN. If you guys are looking for a fantastic league to run in on core racing, make sure you guys go to coreracingleague.com. Hit apply now and join any series, as Jimmy Covert has made his way out here on track, as he's going to be 7 laps down. And Jimmy Covert just going to stay out of the way of these leaders, as Mark Parkhurst is starting to pull a little away from Chris Hamilton ever so slightly. And if there's anybody that is my biggest kryptonite, it'll be that number 64 machine of Chris Hamilton. Looking all back here, it looks like David Tilford holding on strong in P number 4, waiting for Brandon Mettler going to stay out of his line, as Brandon Mettler is on the inside. David right in the middle. Ryan Honeycutt going up, slapping the wall, coming it back down. As he's got the number 14 to Jimmy Covert in front of him. Ryan Honeycutt in that number 051 Hoosier Racing Tire, trying to get around the number 14 to catch back up to the number 64 and the number 23. Not able to do so just yet. Looking at it right now, it looks like the 051 was able to get around the number 14, but David Tilford's got Brandon Mettler all over. Here's rear bumper. Gave him a little bit of a smooch coming out of turn number 1 and 2. And Brandon Mettler's going to back it down ever so slightly, but the battle for the lead is getting ready to get hot and heavy as Chris Hamilton has tracked the number 23 back down and has a little bit of a better corner than the number 23. We're going to go ahead and give you onboard footage of the number 64, see how much he's really turning the wheel and see exactly what he's doing to just keep up the momentum on the number 23. '23 is going to swing it out just a little bit wider. Chris Hamilton is there. 0.1 of a second. Where does Chris go? Does he try to take it down on the inside? He's going to look. Mark's going to close the door. He's going to go up on the berm again as Chris Hamilton has to gain all that little bit of time back that he had on the number 23, Mark Parkhurst. Chris Hamilton going to try the outside, see what happens, as he's going to lose time running that outside. Now he's got something, he's got to try something here to get back and get around the number 23 of Mark Parkhurst, but it looks like Mark Parkhurst is going to be able to lead this thing all the way to the checkered flag. I'm going to go ahead and jump out of that cockpit view. Last lap for the B main, and it's going to be Mark Parkhurst, Chris Hamilton, Ryan Honeycutt, David Tilford in the number 12 machine, Brandon Mettler in the 15, Matt Crockett, the Rocket, in the 10, and rounding out your 7-car field is going to be the number... No! Matt Crockett and Mark Parkhurst get together. That could have been disastrous, as Mark Parkhurst was able to get the race win here tonight. And now we make the final feature. Out front is going to be the number 72. Oh, well, he's not in there yet. Look at that, Dane Simpson here. Go ahead and give you guys a little bit more rundown on these beautiful paint schemes. Caleb Thompson and the number 72 is going to start row number 1, P number 1. I'll go ahead and bring up the feature. Oh, it doesn't show you the feature. Okay. So we got Caleb Collins in P number 1, Dane Simpson in 2nd. Paul Owens is going to be P number 3. Lyle Mitchell in the number 100 NOS energy drink machine. It's going to be P number 4. Kevin Foster is going to be P number 5. Tim Thompson in the Hardy's number 05 is going to be 6th. John Crane in the Team Hamilton number 11 is going to be P number 7. P number 8 is going to be the number 18 of Carl Handwerk. 9th is going to be Christopher Hamilton. 10th will be David Tilford. 11th will be Mark Parkhurst. And rounding out your 12-car field is going to be the number 051 of Ryan Honeycutt. Give you guys a beautiful look at these cars going down the backstretch here. As you see there, everybody doing a little bit of a parade lap. Turn number 3, going to go ready to get up to Barney the flagman, as it looks like the pace truck's going to go down into pit lane. Barney's going to have the flag out. Caleb Collins going to run these guys to the green. And green, green, green. We are back to racing here in the Core Premier Series as Caleb Collins leads them into turn number 1. Paul Owens all over that back bumper of the number 72 with Dane Simpson sitting P number 3. Lyle Mitchell on the inside of Kevin Foster. Not able to get around. Now he's around the number 8 machine. But back here in the back, there's a swarm of cars. Going to stick with Ryan Honeycutt as he is on his way up to the front. Got around Carl Henwer, got around the Christopher Hamilton, got around Tim Thompson. Now working on the number 11 of Jonathan Crane as Carl Henwer was hurrying to get up there to the front. He's going to dive it in just a little bit more deeper than everybody else. Gotta hit the brakes just a little bit to not slide up and hit John Crane. But back in the back, Mark Parkhurst was thinking about making it 3 wide for the race lead. But so far it is Caleb Collins out there leading this thing. 50 laps here tonight for tonight's feature as they were almost 3 wide there. Kevin Foster moving up from the bottom. Ryan Honeycutt thought he could sneak a nose in there, hit the brakes to get out of that little bit of a move. Lyle Mitchell on the outside of the Ryan Honeycutt going to get a good run coming out. They're going to be 2 wide, looking 3 wide. Ryan Honeycutt to the inside. A little bit of a slider, got to back it up, though still 3 wide. Kevin Foster stuck in the middle like a sandwich. They're both going to not get by Lyle Mitchell. Still 3 wide going into turn number 1 as Carl Hayworth's going to follow suit with the number 051 of Ryan Honeycutt. Ryan Honeycutt able to make that move work. Kevin Foster and Carl Hedwork get together as Carl Hedwork able to keep it clean. Lyle Mitchell up there running the outside of Carl Hedwork, not able to let Carl Hedwork go. But up front, it is Caleb Collins with a .70 lead on second place runner Dane Simpson.
I'm intruding.
Hey, Jimmy. How's it going, buddy?
A little troubles with the internet, so I figured I'd hop up in here in the booth since you're up here by yourself. But great race so far. I see Caleb Collins out to the front with Dane Simpson following there with Paul Owens and sitting in the 3rd place. And great battle going back there behind Honeycutt.
Yeah, you got Carl Hedwork on the inside. You got Lyle on the outside. And Lyle is not taking no for an answer. He's not going to get denied as they're 3 wide coming out of turn number 3 and 4. Crane on the inside, Hedwork in the middle, and Lyle all the way up top. And it's going to still be 3 wide coming through 1 and 2.
Just really wondering how long these guys can maintain that 3 wide. These cars, you're able to beat and bang is that center's all slicked off up there, and it's very hard to control. So the fact that Carl Hedwork can hang in there between those two is just kind of impressive.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been 3 wide for at least 5 laps, and now we're going to see Chris Hamilton. He's going to make his appearance up here and possibly make it 4 wide if there's enough room.
I think there might be enough room, but I don't know how many laps they can go there. But Chris is definitely going to dive to the inside and make it 4 wide.
As we talk about it was 4 wide there for a moment, as Chris Hamilton seen that and said, no, thank you. I will back out as John Crane gets around Carl Hedwork and Lyle finally, but they're now 3 wide yet again for P number 5.
And yeah, this is P number 5, but the guys out front are definitely having their fun run there as they have no traffic to deal with and able to get some good laps in, allowing Caleb Collins to stretch out that lead there over Dane Simpson and Paul Owens. Ryan Honeycutt, being able to make his way forward in front of this mess back here with Carl Hedwork and gang, but the battle back here continues that these guys keep it continuously clean, corner after corner, and it's just great driving by them all.
Yeah, very clean, respectful driving by all these competitors back here on the back. And if, excuse me, if you're Chris Hamilton, you're like, somebody just open up a lane, get 2 wide again so I can put my nose up there and get past this gangle of cars just in case something does happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's at that point, though, he wants to get around, and he can get his nose in there, but he can't quite make a full, clean pass, and there's no room for a slider, so it's just trying to get your nose stuck in there, and hopefully that guy in front of you makes a mistake. But, yeah, these cars are real equal here, and it's all about that throttle control, getting that car around here. Carl Hedwork finally is able to break free in front of John Crane and Lyle, so we'll see if he can catch up to Honeycutt that's sitting there in 4th place.
Yeah, while we're watching that battle, Ryan Honeycutt actually cut that deficit in half He is almost to the back bumper, the number 96 of Dane Simpson, as these guys are pretty much running the same line, but it's just the way that Ryan Honeycutt can get through these corners is really making up a lot of time on that number 96 of Dane Simpson.
Yeah, I mean, they might just be, in that comfortable zone following the 54 of Paul Owens around, trying to get a good finish here tonight, and is able to catch these guys. So he's found a little something that's working for him, and hopefully that the 96 of Dane Simpson, as he's one of our dirt drivers, is able to see what he's doing and maybe use that to his advantage to maybe get around Paul Owens.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I would do any kind of racing. Find where their weaknesses are and see where they're having trouble and take advantage of that. But then again, you also got to find out where they're having the best success and try to take that line away from them. And I think that's exactly what Dane Simpson was doing. It's just what you were talking about. Following, making sure what Paul Owens is doing is different a little bit from his driving style and seeing if he can capitalize on it. But notice that 1 second lead over Paul Owens has now deficitated down to a 0.27 gap to Paul Owens.
Yeah, and you can see Paul Owens is starting to catch up on the back of Caleb Collins there, as they're now starting to drive a little bit differently from each other, and that's what you need to do on dirt. You have to find where your speed's at, where your car handles best for you. Usually when you shadow somebody here, you usually maintain a good distance between each other, and with the amount of laps they have around here, they have 50 tonight, and that's a long time to be in this car, a lot of time to be wheeling this thing around, as it's, like I said, a lot of throttle control, as Caleb Collins gets passed by Paul Owens for first place.
Yeah, almost a little bit of a slide job. Caleb's got to catch it. He's going to complete the pass. And I think with Caleb being on the outside, I don't think he was ready for how loose it could possibly side in on the inside, as they're still going green here after about 20 laps out of 50.
Yeah, and this is what Carl Heinwerk's going to want to see as he's made it into that fifth place. He's going to want these guys to be battling as much as possible to give him the opportunity to be able to get up there and possibly get on a podium or even win. But John Crane hasn't let Carl Heinwerk out of his sights, maintaining that sixth position. Lyle Lynch is in seventh. Kevin Foster sitting at P number 8. And it's back there with a little bit of battle he's got with Christopher Hamilton and Mark Parkhurst, as a bunch of us had, EOLs through the heats. Basically to let the guys in the back and the front, and we had to kind of work our way through being in the top of the points, as we're only on our fourth race of the season, so a lot of fun racing going on here so far within the series. And Paul Owens is doing a great job right now being out front, and Caleb Collins and Honeycutt and Dane Simpson are all trying to track him down and get around him.
Yeah, looking back here, looks like Chris Hamilton finally able to make a way around the number 8 of Kevin Foster. It still looks like right. Well,
Somebody's around.
Mark Parkhurst back in the back. No caution called. We'll go ahead and go back to a little bit of a replay. See what happened to the number 23 Real Tree of Mark Parkhurst. Looks like just got into the side of Kevin Foster. Kevin's going to go up and over the berm. Mark Parkhurst able to get it out of everybody's way as they stay green, 23 laps out of 50.
And almost halfway to the halfway point here, and Paul Owens has found himself a little bit of speed, able to get himself a little bit of lead over Caleb Collins. Dane Simpson sitting in that third place still over Ryan Honeycutt, not allowing him to go by.
Oh.
Honeycutt gives him a little tap at the bumper, almost sending him loose, but they're able to maintain control. That's one thing about these street stock cars, and on the dirt, they're able to basically, control and take a little beating and banging around here.
Yeah, and you can see the migration that these guys have taken already. The first part of this race was down on the inside. Now they're migrating up towards the wall. You see there, Honeycutt gets in the back of Dane. Dane saves it. But look at the sportsmanship from Ryan. He doesn't want to take the spot away that way. He gave the spot back to Dane. Great sportsmanship by the number 051. And that, you don't get a lot of that, especially in all these official series.
No, you don't, and and it could be just that he was a little bit loose and was able to get that car going, but that has allowed Carl Heinwerk to start closing in these two as they continue to battle. Lyle Mitchell and gang, they're back here 2-3 wide with John Crane and Christopher Hamilton, so the place back here for that sixth position is battling up as they are 3 wide going down there into turn 3 and 4.
Dive bomb from the number 11, going to send it up high, gets into the door of the 100 of Lyle Mitchell, still a little bit 3 wide. Lyle's going to take it way to the wall. He's going to lose 2 spots to Christopher Hamilton and John Crane, but he's going to battle back on that outside, going to try to get back to the number 11 and get that respected P number 6 back from John Crane.
Yeah, and John got a little bit hot going to that one corner, slid him up far up to the wall, so it's going to relinquish that bottom line, and he's going to have to use the momentum of that high side if he wants to maintain that position.
Yeah, John Crane now on the outside, Christopher Hamilton in the middle, Lyle sneaking it in, almost got in the rear, or the side of the 64, able to keep it off of him, but they are going to be 3 wide. Oh, Lyle Mitchell getting into the side of Chris Hamilton. He's going to drop it back down.
Yeah, while that battle's been brewing there, you see Ryan Honeycutt finally got around Dane Simpson, taking that P3 position for Carl Handwerk, working that high side of the track. And I don't know if these guys are watching or not, but he's slowly closing in. He's trying to make that high side work and kind of get in that sneak attack.
Yeah, just this 3 wide battle. I mean, you got Chris Hamilton running the middle, then he goes to the outside. He got Lyle in the high side down to the inside, and it's kind of simmered down here as they door touch again. That slides Crane way up the racetrack. Chris Hamilton gets in the back of number 11, able to save it. Great car control by John. As I'm kind of glad I'm up here in the booth.
I was really looking forward to being down there, and like I said, I got a storm coming down through my area and knocked the internet out in perfect timing where I wasn't able to make the heat. Or I was able to get out there and run a few laps for fun, but other than that, my night was done. So I figured I'd come up here and join you in the booth. But great race so far here as Paul Owens is leading over Caleb Collins, Ryan Honeycutt. In 4th place is Dane Simpson. 5th is Carl Handwerk. 6th is Lyle Mitchell. 7th, John Crane. 8th, Christopher Hamilton. 9th is Kevin Foster, and 10 is David Tilford. And then back there in 11th spot is Tim Thompson, then Mark Parkhurst, Abhi Vishwasam, Matt Crockett, Paul Butler, Jimmy Covert, Brandon Metler, John Nobringer will be the lineup even for the guys that aren't in the race. So I think the last one in the race is David Tilford, I think David Tilford's the last one. No, Tim Thompson's in there too, and Mark Parkhurst.
Yeah, I think
there's only a few of us that got sent home tonight.
Yeah, I think top 12 made it.
Mm-hmm.
As Mark Parkhurst played the alphabet soup to perfection. Got lucky, had to start in the rear and worked his way to the front. And so far has had to battle a little bit of adversity here on the dirt track side, as Lyle has caught back up to the number 11 and the 64. So those guys still doing battle back there, but Carl Handwerk has caught the back bumper of Dane Simpson for P number 4.
Yeah, and the laps are starting to winding down. They're on lap 35 of 50, so about 15 laps remaining here, and Carl looking, has got to do a lot of work, and hopefully he can get around Dane Simpson, Honeycutt, and for that P3 position. But Paul Owens is really kind of checking out, got a pretty decent lead over Caleb Collins. I don't have my SDK up, unfortunately, so I just know that he's leading. Probably what he was about a second there, Dylan.
Yeah, he's about 1.1 seconds out in front of Caleb Collins, and he got a 7-second gap to 3rd place. So those two out there, the 54 and the 72, really showing that they're here to party. As I know Caleb knows his way around Knoxville, whether there's a wall involved or not.
Yeah, Caleb doing a great job tonight. I'm really surprised that he actually let Paul Owens get around him, but that's just how these cars are. You slip up just one little bit and kind of lose your traction.
Slide job from the number 18. We finally got to see it from the bottom to the top as Dane Simpson able to get back around Carl Handwerk. And now Carl's got to regroup, get back to the back bumper of Dane Simpson, and hopefully try to make it stick this time by if he can get back there.
It takes so long. It takes a good couple laps to set up, and then this time he's going to try the high side as Dane works that lower side.
Yeah, still running the outside. Gets into the wall, coming off the corner though. And going into the corner, you can see it there. He's got that right rear on the berm. Slides it down towards the inside berm and still holding pace with Dane, but just not able to get the good enough run to get around him. And if anybody knows anything about, dirt track racing, oval, or even road, it's one thing to catch a guy. It's definitely a harder task to get around them cleanly.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really hard. And when we were doing, if you watch the heat between me, Carl, Kevin Foster, and Christopher Hamilton, it was like at one point I had the opportunity to probably lunge in on Carl, but there was no sense because it would have just took him out and more than likely myself out as well. So it was just like not a safe thing to do. And these cars, oh, it's a beautiful slide job because he almost made it stick.
Almost made it stick. Dane seen it coming, was able to back off the throttle just a little bit more. And these guys just going toe to toe as it looks like Lyle and Chris Hamilton have settled out to a two-car battle as John Crane has fell off just a little bit. As there goes another slide job, crossover. Carl able to make it stick. Not going to let Dane get around him that easily. And do we see a dive bomb from Dane? We do. Slide job from Dane. Crossover from the 18 of Carl Handwerk. Dane going to pinch him down just a little bit, but it is Carl Handwerk going to come across the line. P number 4.
Yeah, so now Dane's in that same situation that Carl was in, but Carl moving into that P4 with only a few laps remaining as we are working on lap 43 of 50. Paul Owens is still out to the lead with Caleb Collins the second, Ryan Honeycutt in third, and Carl Handwerk working that fourth place over Dane Simpson.
Yeah, so far still neck and neck at the line. It is Carl, but look at that. All over each other's doors, still running up high. No slide job this time by, but it is in favor of the number 96 of Dane Simpson. As Carl's still rolling that inside, Dane's going to send it in way too deep. Carl's going to chop it down to the inside. Dane's going to do the same. And they're still side by side coming to lap number 45.
And Carl just barely had enough front bumper to kind of get that position. But these guys will continue to battle on here. So I'll just kind of leaf through the back here while you're still watching that. It looks like Kevin Foster has gotten underneath the 11 of John Crane with David Tilford looking to follow as those guys battle back a little bit farther in the pack. And then it looks like Mark Parkhurst kind of right in the back doing his thing, and Tim Thompson bringing up the last of the guys who qualified. So, good on Tim Thompson for making it to the show. And maybe you could catch somebody who'll spin out trying to make a last-minute push here, but Paul Owens looked like he's not having too much of an issue staying out front over Caleb Collins, but that lead does look like it has shrunk just a little bit as I'm starting to see that. It looks to me about a half a second there. What am I guessing there? Am I guessing there correct there, Dylan?
Yeah, you're pretty much right on the button. It is 0.6 of a second from first to second place. Now it is half a second as Paul Owens got into the wall there just a little bit. Caleb's using the wall to his advantage again, and he gets into the wall coming out of the corner. But, that lead is slowing or getting a little bit smaller each lap as it's down to 0.3. So we're definitely going to see a good battle for the race win here if Caleb can play his cards right. Paul just can't seem to get off that wall.
Yeah, and he's kind of probably in that defensive mode. It's like, oh, the win is right there. Can I finish these next 3 laps without being passed? Trying to get another win here on the season, and Paul doing his thing, just riding that wall, just trying to stay off it because obviously we're not allowed to wall ride. But that car just gets up there sliding around, and you're gonna hook. So hopefully he's able not to lose too much momentum. And it looks like Caleb Collins using that wall just a little bit as well, but it's not their fault as the car just kind of has nowhere to go. It slides up to that outside and gets stuck a little bit.
Yeah, last lap. Caleb Collins give him one hell of a shove through the back bumper. Caleb all over the back bumper. Does he throw a slide job? He goes down to the inside. Slide job from the number 72. Where does Paul Owens go? Down to the inside. Caleb using all the lessons. Door banging down the front stretch. It's going to be Caleb edging out the number 54 for the race win. And wow. Caleb gets it done at Knoxville. Paul Owens is going to be P number 2. Ryan Honeycutt's going to finish 3rd. Carl Handwerk was able to get around Dane Simpson there at the final instance. Dane's going to finish out our top 5. Chris Hamilton's going to be P number 6. Lyle Mitchell's going to be 7th. John Crane's going to be 8th. Kevin Foster's going to be 9th. David Tilford is going to be 10th. 11th will be the number 23 of Mark Parkhurst. And rounding out our 12 car field for tonight is going to be the 05 of Tim Thompson. It just that finish.
That was a crazy finish. And that Caleb was able to make that move work, and obviously, pinch Paul down there to his advantage, kind of slow up the that motion that Paul had going. So, but great race up here. I'll let you finish the night off, as the guys will be showing up here shortly for their interviews.
Yes, sir. I'll go ahead and throw up the results here for everybody as I get ready to bring in our 3rd place finisher. That's going to be Ryan Honeycutt as he's waiting in here. Hey, Ryan, this is Dylan and Jimmy in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, Ryan, you worked your way from the back to the front, had to battle a little bit of adversity in your heat races. Kind of walk us through how you kept your cool and got back up there to the top 3 podium spot.
Well, I had a little bit of an incident in my heat race. I think that was kind of just racing today. He came up, I came down, just racing for extra points there. Apologize to him. Then kind of just kept my nose clean there, and that B main just wanted to finish, and I figured I'd get there, and so I got there, and then I was starting in the inside, and everyone started to run the middle, and I felt like if I just kept the pedal down on the bottom, I'd go, and everyone just kept running the middle, so they gave me space, and I just went like all the way up to 4th from 7th, like nothing, and then I had to catch the leaders, and then I got into Dan a few times, and I felt bad, and I had a gap, so I let off and let Dan gather back up, and I feel like if I would have done that and I'd have been able to get around him clean and fast, I probably would have been able to run with him, because I started catching him towards the end, but I really just kept it on the bottom, and it somehow went, so I just went with it.
Yeah, I mean, you ran a good race. You had your line picked out where you wanted to be, and were you just kind of hoping for a caution to try to see what you could do with Caleb and Paul up there, or were you just content on just finishing right where you were?
Well, part of me wanted a caution because I was catching them about like 3/10 a lap, so I figured if we got a caution and we got going, I probably was going to be able to, maybe try to get with them. But at the same time, I'm a little bit behind on points from some dumb decisions on myself for the first few weeks, and I kind of was okay with 3rd because it just guaranteed me some good points. So I'll take 3rd. Wish I could have been up there with them, but it's a good rebound.
Oh, yeah, definitely a good rebound for yourself. And, if I'm not mistaken, I think next week we go, let me look at the schedule here. Looks like we're going to Myrtle Beach in the super late model. Is that something that you're looking forward to, or have you not done a lot of practice in the new updated super late model?
Yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. I really love, short track racing. I feel like it makes a lot better racing. It'll really depend on how the cautions fly there and who can get to the bottom and who can really keep their nose clean, because those cars, they're a little bit fast and they're a little hard to control. So if you stay out of the wrecks, I feel like as long as I'm there with like 10 to go, then I could probably get a good top 3 finish again. So just hoping to keep my nose clean and eliminate the dumb mistakes I've been going through these past few weeks.
Right. I can understand that. Jimmy, do you have any questions for our 3rd place finisher?
I think Jimmy left.
Yep, he did. All right, well. All right, Ryan. Well, before we let you get on out of here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, shout out to Madigan Motorsports. That's team I race for, Joseph Madigan. Don't have a paint for this, but he makes some great paints over there at Mad Dog Designs. If you need a paint, he's a really good guy. And yeah, that's about it. I appreciate you guys for broadcasting, and I can't wait to see you guys next week.
All right, Ryan. Well,
Go Chiefs.
Yeah. See, hey, well, you know what? I'm not playing any spoilers because I don't know if you watched the game, but I'll I'll go ahead and let you figure that one out for yourself. I know.
Yeah, I was watching it during the B main. I was a little distracted. I won't lie.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you enjoy your third place finish, and we'll hopefully be talking to you again next week.
Alrighty, I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. All right, that was our third place finisher. We're going to go ahead and bring up our second place finisher, the man with the plan, Paul Owens, finishing P number 2 here tonight. Paul, this Dylan in the booth. Can I copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how mad or upset were you that you got beat by a car with a smiley face?
Not mad at all because at Knoxville and the ARCA cars last season, the same thing happened where we were battling for the lead and took off from the field, and so I knew it was going to happen. I just should have prepared for it a little better.
I mean, you had the outside rolling the way that you needed to have it rolling. It just seemed like once Caleb got to your inside, there's just nothing that you could really defend at that point unless you really try to pinch him going into the corners. But nonetheless, I mean, you guys had one hell of a battle for the last lap. You led a bunch of laps as well. You got your heat win. You finished second in the feature. Nothing to be mad about. But kind of walk us through, did you think maybe you seen that move coming? Did you check up just a little bit more to see if you can get a better run off?
Yeah, I knew it was coming, and I just put on the top and started to get a run off, and then he was coming down after he got off the wall and hit me, and we kind of locked together there, and at that point I was like, there's nothing we can do. Whoever's ahead is ahead. So then we came to the line, and he barely edged it out, so, I'll take second, though, and a bunch of laps led.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to set you up for next week. You got Myrtle Beach in the super late models. I don't know how much you've ran the newer updated super late model. I know you do a little bit of late models racing yourself in the real life. So
Yes.
how does that translate from the actual late model that you drive to a super late model?
Well, I haven't driven the newest updated super late models yet, so I have to go figure that out. But they used to feel pretty good. They were a little less snappy on the throttle, like spinning tires. But we'll see how it works out.
All right, Paul. Well, we're definitely going to see. I know how this car is going to act next week, so just message me and I'll give you a little bit of 411 on how Myrtle Beach is going to go.
All right.
Before I let you get on out of here and you enjoy your second or even third cup of chocolate milk, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Titletown Racing, and as always, you guys up in the CRN booth. You do a great job, and I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you celebrate your second place victory here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again on Tuesday night.
All right, sounds good. See you later.
See you later. All right, that was our second place finisher of Paul Owens. Now we get to the man that has won this race in the 87s, the ARCA cars, and now an actual car that belongs on dirt, the dirt street stock. That's going to be the Rusty's number 72 smiley face of Caleb Collins.
Hey, Dylan, you said you wanted to talk to me later. So, I just had to shove Jelly down into the inside wall because I knew you wanted to talk to me in the broadcast.
I mean, you guys were the class of the field. You led a bunch of laps in the early beginning. Paul was able to get around you. Let him go. You didn't really put up too much of a fight. It looks like once you got to that outside, you didn't realize how slick it was going to be up there. So you lost a little bit of ground to Paul. But coming to those final couple laps, you reeled him back in. Had Lightning McQueen's tongue sticking out saying, this is game time now, baby. Let's go. And you gave him a bit of a shot going into turn number 1 and 2. What kind of led up to you getting to the back bumper of that number 54 machine?
Ka-chow, baby. That's right. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, Paul was just faster than me early on there. We talked about it after that heat race. In the heats, it didn't seem to matter where the cushion was. This thing was just faster on the bottom. And it certainly started out that way. But, yeah, I saw Jelly making up time on the top there. So I kind of let him by. And I am really – I honestly – I don't like these street stocks. I'm not usually very good at them. And like, I can't tell you the last time I won a street stocks race, but so I said, well, Jelly's doing better than me right now. I'll just follow him and see what I can learn from him. And then I think the guys behind us kind of got started mixing it up back there, and we put quite a gap on them just running that cushion like crazy. And you'd go into one. 3 and 4 was a little more stable. 1 and 2, man, it just felt like it was like you were just going to launch the thing into the outside wall. But that cushion held you, and it just kind of it wore out a little bit, but it was up there all night. So I just kind of go into that last lap. I thought, okay, I'm going to get as close to him as I can, and then I'm just going to try to slide him going into 3 and see what happens. And I'll probably knock the wheels off of it because there's no grip left in the track. But what have I got to lose? So I just mashed it going into 1 harder than I had. I think I bounced it off the wall a couple of times and just drove it into 3 and tried to slide him. And I think Paul probably would have beat me back to the line. But we got together there, and our cars kind of got stuck together for a little bit there, and that killed his momentum and kind of helped push me along. So, yeah, got another win at Knoxville now. I like this place. You know, maybe I should actually come here in real life and enjoy the show because it's sure been good to me on iRacing somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. I mean, it doesn't matter what type of car you're in as of right now, you can get the job done. I know you're not much of a dirt guy, but if there's anything at Knoxville, put this man, number 72, in a car and he can perform very well. But, you cap off an amazing day, you get your heat win, then you come out here, you win the feature here tonight. You're going to be the 4th different winner of this season. 4 races down, 4 different winners. So great job with that. But you go to Myrtle Beach in the super late models next week. Is that a track car combo that you're really looking forward to, or are you just hoping for the best?
Well, last season, whenever we did that race in the super lates at Darlington, that was I bought a super late model on iRacing just for that race. I had never run one before that, and it was a blast. And Myrtle Beach is a very quirky track. It's kind of difficult to get figured out. I never quite feel like I've got it just right. I don't know that I'll be the slowest guy there, but if I can manage like a top 10, top 5, I'll be happy there. Those super late models are a whole lot of fun. I'm just looking to have a good time at that one and get better in those super late models. And Premier has been a whole lot of fun this season for the most part. So looking to continue that next week for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be something fun to watch and look out for you. Now, the biggest question is, are you going to have another Lightning McQueen paint scheme, or are you just going to find one off of Trading Paints?
I don't know. I might have to work on that because I'm pretty sure I still have the same that same orange paint job from the last race we ran in those cars. So I may just leave it that bright orange color. I may go see if I can find me a Lightning McQueen paint job. I don't know. I might have to do some scrolling on Trading Paints and see what I can come up with.
All right. Well, Caleb, is there anybody you want to give a big shout out to before I let you go celebrate with the Tequila Time boys?
Yeah, for sure, man. Got to thank the man upstairs first and foremost for giving me the means to come out here and do this with you guys. Thank you for broadcasting. I know you'd rather be racing in these most of the season, but sure do appreciate the broadcast. They're always a lot of fun to go back and watch. I appreciate all the admins putting this league together. Just a blast to run in this league. I'm so glad that Carmen invited me to it a year or two ago and made so many friends doing it. Got to thank the missus for putting the girls to sleep inside and letting me come out here and have fun with the boys. And looking forward to a lot more fun next week.
All right, Caleb. Well, we're going to go ahead and send you back up there, and hopefully we get to talk to you again on Tuesday night.
All right. Thanks, Dylan. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. All right, I got to go ahead and run down the final position for tonight before I do my final send-off for tonight. So as it sits right now, we have Caleb Collins, your race winner, and then number 72, Paul Owens in second. Ryan Honeycutt's going to round out our top 3. Dane Simpson's going to be P number 4. Carl Hedwig running out the top 5. Christopher Hamilton in 6th. Lyle Mitchell in 7th. John Crane in 8th. Kevin Foster in 9th. And running out your top 10 is going to be David Tilford. 11th is going to be the number 23 of Mark Parkhurst. And 12th is going to be the number 05 of Tim Thompson. Want to give a big congratulations to everybody out there, or a big thank you to everybody out there following, sharing, leaving a thumbs up on every video that we produce out here on CRN between myself, Jimmy Covert, and Carl Hedwig. Thank you guys for the likes, shares, subscribes. Thank you for helping us succeed that 300 mark goal. Now on to our next one. But don't forget, tomorrow night we have Laguna Seca in the GT Series. Carl Hedwig will have that live coverage tomorrow night. Tuesday, you don't want to miss it. I'll be back with the Arca Menard Series with Ricky Gonzalez, and then the Truck Series with Caleb Collins. Those are 2 streams you don't want to miss. Also, you have Jimmy Covert and Carl Hedwig in the UCRL Truck League as they get ready to wind down their season. Wednesday, there's not going to be any broadcasts for CRN. Same Thursday night, we go road racing. I snuck through for the race win, had to start from the back as I am the points leader in the Vintage Cup Series. Was able to work my way from the back to the front, got the win at Iowa. Now we go road course racing at Watkins Glen as I will start from the back again. So that's something that you don't want to miss. Jimmy and Carl will have that action for you. Friday, there's not going to be any broadcast, but same with Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll be back in the booth with the super late models at Myrtle Beach. All week long, CRN's got you covered. But make sure you guys take care. Or actually, whoa, I just missed the whole line. Give me. This has been another broadcast on CRN. My name is Dylan. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.